Welcome. In this video, what we're going to look at is the concept of the balanced scorecard. So let's start then with looking at what is a balanced scorecard. You see the bullet points on the screen, and what it's saying is exactly what you read. It's a model of measurements, and it brings together typically 4 measurements in equal importance. It looks at the financial and the operational aspects that most clearly indicate success of the organization. Most commonly shown then is customer satisfaction, business processes, financials, and innovations. So instead of one measurement, essentially what we've got going on here, let me change my screen a little bit. Don't mind the way it's going to look here. But if we go forward one screen so I can draw on it, essentially what we're doing is instead of having one measurement, we're breaking them down into 4 measurements, and we're looking at them in balance, where we look at customer satisfaction, business processes, financials, and innovation. So while these are most common, the essence appears to be that, what are the set of measurements best representing your organization most completely. If you are taking, many of the certification exams or a university class, these are the 4 that you probably want to stick with. So let's jump back to the format we were in before and continue on. As an example of those 4 areas, it might be as what you see here. For financial, we may measure increased revenue, so we're able to tell if we're growing. Customer service, we may measure high customer satisfaction. So not only are we growing revenue, but we're also taking care of customers. Process-wise, because we're taking care of customers well, increased revenues, probably growing in the new markets. Then we're going to also measure the multiple sales channels to making sure we're capturing customers in all the ways they want to. And finally, as part of growth, we may look at innovation and say, well, if we're going to continue to grow, then we need to introduce 3 new products annually. So again, if we look at this balanced scorecard and looked at the why behind it, the mentality is important because we're trying to promote the concept that one single measurement cannot tell us everything. Success comes from identifying and improving multiple aspects of the organization. Again, in financial, customers, process, and innovation. So we want to get away from that idea of one single measurement can't tell us everything, and success comes from identifying and improving multiple aspects that are required to interact and collaborate to be successful. So as an example, we look back over history, and we'll show you some companies here at the end here that have been successful at it. But if we look back over at history, we look at financial, and back in the 1980s, it was all about the numbers, even up till today, yet companies still failed. In the 90s, we had business process reengineering, and it was all about reengineering your products, and companies failed even though they did that very well. And finally, quality awards. Quality is still important today, but we had the Baldrige Award and numerous state awards in the early 2000s, and companies failed there as well for various reasons. So, historically, we've always looked for one measurement to tell all, and history's told us that doesn't work. So we're trying to break that mindset. So success comes from managing multiple dynamics, multiple aspects, and not just one measure. So if I had to give you 4 divergent companies who work with the traditional 4, it'd be Volkswagen in manufacturing of cars, Citibank in finance, governmental, which is interesting. The city of Charlotte uses it in governmental, and educationally, the University of Virginia. So we've got examples that have improved their performance and collaboration by using the balanced scorecard, and they've seen the benefits of everybody interacting and working with a thoughtful, balanced approach.